The following video contains 3D printed parts. Here at Out of This World Models and Minis, we realize that not all viewers have access to a 3D printer. We want everyone to be able to build along, so where available, we'll post links to where you can either purchase those printed parts or the STL files for those pieces. Maybe a friend with a printer can help you out. Any future videos using 3D prints will contain the logo seen in the upper right-hand corner. Enjoy the video! Okay, so jumping right in here, this is the Emperor Dalek from the Evil of the Daleks from the classic series of Doctor Who. It's an STL file that I found on Thingiverse, and it was actually scaled up to the original kit is made for the 5-inch character options Doctor Who action figures. Well, it's a little too big for my printer. I recently picked up an Elegoo Mars, so I went ahead and jumped into the slicing software and scaled it down. Yeah, there's the head right there. I think that's one of the only things I could actually print off on this, apart from like the Dalek balls, the hemispheres. But yeah, the body would have been way too big, so I just brought it down half size. This is a great size for my 28mm figures. I'm not sure if it's the right scale or not, but it works well when you put them next to each other. So, apart from that, the print time for all of this, I printed all the pieces off separately. Apart from the hemispheres themselves, I printed them all off on the same build plate. It took about 9 hours total for everything, which I'm sure I probably could have put more on the build plate and print it off in half the time, but I'm still new to 3D printing and I figured I'd try it out. So after everything's done, that's what I got right there. I actually printed off more of the hemispheres than I needed just in case I had some fails. Those white marks right there, those are, I didn't clean the part off good enough. The alcohol, you have to really get that off of there before you cure it, or else you'll get those that residue there. Okay, so right now I'm just inspecting the kit itself, all the pieces. There are a few nubs here and there that I have to sand down on the bottom there, and then for the most part I put a lot of the supports on the inside. Okay, yep, there's pointing at those are where the two smaller size hemispheres are going to go, and then all the other ones are going in the other allotted spaces there. Now, since this was actually my first actual model kit that I printed off itself, I knew there'd be a few things I'd have to clean up. There's a small area around each of those hemispheres. I'm just going to take and sand those down later on in the video. You see me doing that, but they didn't fit just right off the printer, so yeah, I have to clean those up. The head actually came out really nice. The only thing that I actually changed from the actual parts list, right there, that's the eye stalk, and they had you print that off. It's not actually part of the file. It just looks too goofy, plus the way it's designed, there's an actual flat edge on there, which I'm not too sure of why it was designed like that, but later on I do change it, and the end result looks way better than the printed eye stalk there. But pretty happy with the way this came out for my very first printed model kit. Like I said, the white marks, that's just resin and alcohol residue that I didn't clean off that well, but I'm learning as I go. Alright, this right here is some 1000 grit sandpaper, and I realized shortly into doing this that, yeah, I need to start a little bit with a lower grit, so I get off those that nice little ring around it. Right here, this is some 80 grit. Clean that off, and then eventually I go to some 120 grit, and then polish it off with the 1000. And I'm just doing some test fitting right here, and I think that's about as good of a fit as I can get for this Like I said, eventually I'd like to get a larger printer and maybe print this off at the actual size. Yep, there's the resin dust all over my fingers. I was wearing a respirator for this because, yeah, that's some nasty stuff there. Okay, I'm getting ready for painting the all the hemispheres there. I just stuck it onto some tape that was taped upside down to a piece of cardboard. The old tricks are the best tricks. And then you got the smaller hemispheres there. Okay, so I went with some brass rod for this. I didn't do any kind of intricate measuring or anything. I just put the piece right up to the rod, just like so. Held it in place with my finger and figured out exactly where I had to cut. That's some good engineering there, kids. I just took some of my old nippers there, the old pliers, and I got a piece that works. And fitting it to the eye. A little loose, but I can fix that with some super glue gel. In all fairness, the original piece didn't fit nearly as well as this one did. So, and there we go. That looks a lot better than the printed part there. Pop it on there for just to see what it's going to look like. And yeah, that eye stalk is as long as it should be there. Pretty cool. I'm a huge Dalek fan. I've got a nice big collection of Daleks. I'm also a lifelong Doctor Who fan, both classic and new series. Alright, get ready for your Dramamine here, kids. This is going to get a little wobbly here. My handheld skills aren't the best, but took this outside, primed it up on one of the nicer days. Just standard Rust-Oleum gray primer, nothing fancy. Going with Racing White from Tamiya. I actually changed this later on because it looks a little too yellow, but it's a good base coat. And all that purple that you see there on the spaces where the Dalek hemispheres are going to go, that's mask all, just a liquid mask. It's liquid latex, that's all it is. That's going to protect the areas where I'm going to put the super glue, so there's a nice bond between both pieces. But I put this on the turntable, took it out, sprayed it on the grass. I'm sure the neighbors were probably looking at me like, what the heck is he doing? Now I'm going to just take some blue painter's tape and there's some great camera work there, kids. Mask off the smaller hemispheres because they're going to be a different color. And then that's just flat black, straight from the dollar store. Nothing fancy there. And getting frame there. Maybe. There we go. And then eventually I just go ahead and give this a good gloss coat. I'm painting outside because I don't have a spray booth set up in the basement. Yeah, I get a little seasick there. Alright, so yeah, I took the masking tape and taped off a little barrier so I can paint the smaller hemispheres white. Okay, so next up is just putting the eye together. Super gluing the brass rod onto the resin part. Using super glue because regular model cement is meant to bond plastic parts together by melting them a little bit. It's not going to happen on your resin, so you just have to use super glue instead. Surprised I wasn't wearing gloves for this one because I actually had a tube fail on me and opened up at a little crease in the container and had a nice little time with some super glue on my fingers for a few days. Alright, get in frame there, John. There we go. Alright, this little tool here, the helping hands, I think every modeler should have something like this. These are fantastic for holding together pieces and keeping pieces in place while you're working on them, and I actually use them a lot for when I'm soldering wires together for my lighting. Alright, so, yeah, we saw you already. Okay, yeah, that little black bar at the bottom there, yeah, that's your professional photographer here. That's my strap for my camera. But I see that eventually, move that. Now it's just time to take off all that liquid mask, and you see the resin underneath there. And here's where I decided that yellowish color was a little too striking for this model. In the show, he was even though it was black and white, he was all white with a little bit of an off-white top to his head. And so I just switched to the just straight up Tamiya white. I'm gonna go over all that, which, asking myself now why I took the masking off if I was just gonna tape over or paint over it, but I think I decided that after the fact. No biggie. It does bleach out a little bit right here because of the it is a very stark white. Going back to my phone here, I'm just double checking to see where all the black and white is going to be on here. I knew the white hemispheres were up there, but I wasn't too sure about the black collar. And I probably have about 12 minutes of footage here that I condensed down of me painting completely out of frame. So I'll take this time right now just to say, and yeah, if you like everything else apart from this, yeah, go ahead and give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel. As of right now, I think we're about 73 subscribers, and I'm just in my first year. This is about to enter year number 2 with this channel, so I'm really happy with the way things are going out with this. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. If you got some Doctor Who friends, share it around. Alright, I'm going up and cleaning up right now with some Tamiya NATO black. This is one of my favorite blacks that they have. And I had some masking on there because I went ahead and put a gloss coat over everything. Taking this off so I can start gluing those hemispheres on there. Yeah, it just pulls right off with your finger. And you don't have to get really intricate with tweezers or anything. You just rip it right off of there. Okay, then super glue again. And out of frame. There we go. And you can see a few scratches here and there, but yeah, I eventually just clean it all up. That's one of the final steps on this one. Like I said before, I'm a huge fan of the Daleks. I love those guys. Pretty nice sized Dalek collection myself, and since I played the Doctor Who miniatures game, which was, it's a free set of rules that you can find online. Maybe I'll link that in the description as well as the STL file for this one, or the location. But yep, love Doctor Who, love Daleks, love Dalek miniatures. And when I saw this, I was just like, I need to print this off. I thought the first thing I was going to print off when I got my printer was a TARDIS, the travel machine that the Doctor roams through time and space in, but nope, it was a Dalek. And you might be able to see that color difference at the top of the head there. Still little spots there that need to be cleaned up, but looking good. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. Okay, now I just need to paint up the eye stalk in the eye. Yeah, a little bit more cleanup there, John. It's always fun trying to paint white over a black spot there. I had to do a couple brush strokes after in between drying times. It'll be interesting to see how much easier the larger version of this will be when I eventually get around to getting a larger printer and printing this off. Alright, now here, okay, yep, it's not going to be in the best focus, but I'm going to paint the inside, oh, there's paint on my finger, paint the inside of the eye there. And seeing that I only really have one good eye, my other eye is completely blurry all the time due to an accident. I'm going to paint this off camera. There you go. Just want to be able to get in close and do a good job on there. And there he is. So we're going to end this here. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to keep this going. We're having a great time with the channel, and here's the final reveal.